You just signed your name. The salesman shakes your hand, the paperwork is done, and you've finally got the keys. As you breathe in that intoxicating new car smell, you feel like you've made it. But here is the cold, brutal truth that the dealership, the bank, and your own ego are hiding from you right now. That signature didn't just buy you a vehicle, it just legally robbed your future self of over $500,000. And it forced you to work an extra 5 to 10 years before you can ever retire. Society has flawlessly brainwashed us into believing that a monthly car payment is just a standard tax on being an adult. You get a job, you get a paycheck, you get a car loan. It's practically a monthly subscription to transportation, right? Wrong. It is a wealth-destroying mechanism engineered with terrifying mathematical precision. Later in this video, I am going to show you the exact drive-free loophole, a shockingly simple 3-step strategy used by actual millionaires to completely remove the bank from their lives forever. But if you want to understand why millions of people earning 6-figure incomes will still die flat broke, you cannot look at their stock portfolios. You just need to look in their driveway. Let's brutally dissect the anatomy of an auto loan, because the illusion relies entirely on you focusing on one tiny, harmless-looking number, the monthly payment. Imagine you finance a $30,000 car. The average payment right now is hovering around $600 a month for 60 months. Month 1 is pure euphoria. You're catching your reflection in storefront windows. You're posting it on Instagram. But skip forward to month 14. The new car smell is completely gone. There are French fries lost under the seat. The first ding has appeared on the passenger door. The dopamine hit has utterly evaporated. But the $600 payment? That is still there. You are now experiencing the triple bleed. You are hemorrhaging capital in 3 different directions simultaneously, and you only notice one. The first bleed is the principal, the actual cost of the metal. That $600 is capital violently leaving your ecosystem every 30 days. The second bleed is the interest. Vehicles are not assets. They are heavy, depreciating liabilities. When you pay interest on a car, you are literally paying a multi-billion-dollar bank for the privilege of losing your own money. If you finance $30,000 at a 7% interest rate, you aren't paying $30,000. You are handing the bank nearly $6,000 in pure, unadulterated profit. And then there is the third bleed, the quiet killer, depreciation. Unlike real estate or index funds, a car actively cannibalizes its own value while it just sits there. The absolute second your tires touch the public road outside the dealership, 10 to 15% of your money vanishes into thin air. By year 5, it has lost roughly 60% of its purchasing power. Financially speaking, getting a car loan is the exact equivalent of taking out a high-interest mortgage to buy a massive block of ice, leaving it in the sun on your driveway, and paying the bank every month to watch it melt. And the tragic part? We do this over and over and over again. At year 5, right when the car is finally paid off, the average person gets bored, trades in the melted ice cube, rolls the negative equity into a brand new loan, and restarts the bleeding. But here is where the math gets genuinely violent. Here is where that $500,000 actually comes from. The true cost of your car payment is not the $600 you are handing to the bank. The true cost is the massive exponential wealth you are permanently sacrificing by not putting that money to work. In the financial world, this is known as opportunity cost. But in the real world, it's the difference between retiring at 50 on a beach or working until you're 70 under fluorescent lights. Let's project the real math. Let's imagine a parallel universe. Instead of walking into that dealership, you bought a cheap, reliable 10-year-old Honda Civic in pure cash. Is it sexy? No. Is it going to get you 100 fire emojis on your stories? Absolutely not.
but it starts every time you turn the key. Because you have no car payment, you now possess a superpower: $600 of unallocated, free capital every single month. If you take that exact $600, automate it into a broad total market index fund, and let it compound at a historically average 8% return, do you know what happens? Over 30 years, that monthly car payment mutates into exactly $540,000. Read that number again. Over $500,000. That is not a theoretical pie-in-the-sky model. That is the exact mathematical penalty you are paying for heated seats and a larger touchscreen. Every time you sign a 60-month auto contract, you are trading $500,000 of your future freedom to look cool in traffic next to people you don't even know. So, why do we do it? If the math is this devastating, why are there over 100 million active auto loans choking the working class today? Because you're not buying transportation, you're buying status. We live in a deeply visual, judgmental culture. This is the bedrock of the fake rich epidemic. Nobody walking past you can see your 401k balance. Nobody can see your emergency fund. Nobody knows your debt-to-income ratio. But everybody sees what you pull up to the stoplight in. We buy rapidly dissolving liabilities to mask our deep financial insecurities. We disguise a purely emotional, ego-driven purchase as a logistical necessity because we need reliable transportation for work. But the individuals who actually build generational wealth, they know a secret that the middle class refuses to accept. Wealth is not the cars you buy. Wealth is the cars you didn't buy. Wealth is the capital that was captured, invested, and fiercely protected from the ego. Which brings us to the escape hatch, the drive-free protocol I promised you. If you want to break the cycle, you must permanently transition from a consumer mindset to an investor mindset. Here is exactly how you systemize your escape today. Phase 1. The ego death. If you are currently suffocating under a massive car payment and you have zero investments, you sell the car. I don't care how much it hurts. You take the ego hit. You buy a highly depreciated, mechanically sound beater vehicle in cash. You must be willing to survive the psychological friction of not looking wealthy for a short period of time. Phase 2. The phantom payment. You keep making that exact same car payment, but you make it to yourself. You set up an automated transfer of that $600 a month directly into a high-yield savings account or a brokerage fund. The money must vanish from your checking account before you can spend it on lifestyle inflation. Phase 3. The perpetual upgrade. When your cash beater finally dies in 5 years, you do not go crawling back to the dealership for a loan. You take the cash you've been aggressively paying to yourself. You buy a much nicer, slightly used car in full, and you leave the remaining thousands in your investment account to keep compounding. You repeat this process, entirely removing the bank from your life forever. The people who win the game of personal finance do not possess superior intellect. They just simply refuse to pay retail prices to stroke their own ego. They understand that a vehicle is a piece of metal meant to move your body from point A to point B, not a rolling billboard to advertise a net worth you don't actually possess. You have a choice. You can either fund the dealership's retirement or you can fund your own. You cannot do both. I want you to be brutally honest with yourself right now. Go look in your driveway. Look at the metal sitting there. What is the exact monthly payment you are currently sending to the bank? Drop just that number in the comments below. No excuses, no context, just the exact dollar amount. Let's see who is actually paying the $500,000 tax.